Hello students, in this video we are going to discuss about continuity of joint stock company. So first we are going to discuss types of companies. So we have many types of joints of company. There is a chartered company, statutory company, association, not profit, and classification of company on the basis of the membership, private company, public company, and classification of company on the basis of liability, company limited by guarantee, unlimited company, and classification of company on the basis of control, government company, holding company, subsidiary company, and classification of company on the basis of nationality, domestic company, foreign companies, and multinational companies. So we are going to see one by one. So first one, chartered companies. First company is here, chartered companies. Chartered companies are established by the king or queen of a country. Okay, so in the particular country, king or queen only established this company. It's called a chartered company. Power and privileges of chartered company are specified in the charter. Power to cancel the charter is vested with the king or queen. So for the cancel also, it will be done by king or queen. So example, East Indian Company, Bank of England, Hudson Bay Company, the Companies Act does not apply to them. Such company cannot be started in India. Statutory companies. Companies are established by a special act made in Parliament or State Assembly. So Parliament, Delhi Parliament or Tamil Nadu State, Kerala State, Puducherry State Assembly, in that they have to make special act and through that suppose they start any company, that is a statutory company. Okay, in Tamil it is called Sattapurvamana company. Okay, so it made special act in the Parliament or State Assembly, and through that they started company. It's called a statutory company. Constitution of company is specified in the Memorandum of Association. Okay, so about MOA we will discuss in the next topic, what is MOA. But the constitution of company specified in the Memorandum of Association, and rules relating to day-to-day management of statutory company are specified in the Articles of Association. Okay, so first the constitution specified in the MOA, and rules relating to day-to-day management about statutory company specified in the Articles of Association. And third point, audit of statutory company is conducted by Comptroller and Audit General of India. Okay, CAGI. So who only audit all the accounts of the statutory company, and that report submit to the Parliament by a CAGI. Okay, CAG means Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So like that, they only audit all the details. And examples: Food Corporation of India, LIC, GIC, RBI, SBI, IDPI, Railway, Electricity, ONGC. Statutory companies enjoy autonomous status. It need not to use word limited next to its name. Okay. Association not for profit. According to section 25, the central government may by license grant an association may be registered as a company with a limited liability without using words limited or private limited as part of its name. The license will be granted only the case of association not for profit. Okay. So according to the section 25, the central government may give the license to this type of the company. They should not use limited or private limited part of its name, and the license will be granted only. So they not associated with the not for profit. Associated not for profit. That is a association not for profit. In other words, the central government will grant the license only if it is satisfied that. Okay. So the license, the government will grant this license. They have to satisfy 3 points. The first point, the association about to be formed as limited company aim at the promotion, sports, commerce, art association, religion, charity, or any other useful object. Okay, so the main aim is not for the profit. So they are giving the services, sports, commerce, art, science, religion, charity, or any other useful object means. So they are giving the license. Okay. So this point they have to satisfy. And second point, they intend to apply its profit, if any, for promoting its objective. And the third point, it prohibits the payment of dividend to its member. Okay. So dividend means so particular interest for the shares. They not get any interest, they not get any dividend from the company. So the members only they invest the money for the purpose of helping others. Okay, they should not get any amount from the company. So such companies may be public or private company, and may or may not have share capital. Classification of companies on the basis of membership. Private company is a type of company which is formed with minimum 2 shareholders and 2 directors. The minimum requirement with respect to authorized or paid up capital of 1 lakh. And the Companies Act 2015 with enforced from 29th of May 2015. Okay. So private company means the minimum 2 shareholders and 2 directors, and the minimum paid up capital is 1 lakh. Okay. It enforced on from 29th May 2015, Act 2015. Okay. And another crucial condition, another one condition, a private limited company is that it by articles of association restrict that right of transfer it has, and also prohibit any invitation to the public to subscribe for any security of the company. Okay. So here they mention from the public they should not get any amount, and also for the transfer of shares also some restriction it is there. Okay. So easily they cannot share their profit to other person, they cannot sell their shares to other person. Okay. So that is the two conditions they mentioned. And maximum of 200% can become shareholders in the private company. The name private company should be suffixed with private limited or P limited. Example, Scientific Public Servicing Service Private Limited, Chennai. A private limited company can be formed in the three variation: as a private limited company, as a small private limited company, as a one-person company. Okay. So I explain again. Private company means the minimum 2 shareholders and 2 directors, and the minimum paid up capital is 1 lakh. And this Act 2015, so enforced forced to 29th of May 2015. And some crucial condition it is there. So first condition, some restriction it is there to transfer their shares, and they should not invite any public subscription or any security of the company. Okay. And maximum 200% can become the shareholder of the private company. Their name should be suffixed with the private limited or P limited. For example, Scientific Publishing Service Private Limited. Okay. And a private limited can be formed in three variations. So first one, as a private limited company, as a small private limited company, or as a one-person company. Okay, that is a private limited company in the classification of the basis of membership. First one. And second one, public company. A public company means a company which is not a private company. A public company may be set to an association with consists of at least 7 members. Okay. So in the private company, minimum 2 members. In the public company, a minimum 7 members we needed, and has a minimum paid up capital 5 lakhs. Minimum paid up capital 5 lakhs. such higher paid as capital as may be prescribed, is a subsidiary of a company which is not a private company, does not restrict the right of transfer its shares. Okay. So what is the meaning of subsidiary of company which is not a private company? So subsidiary company means any branches company, it's not considered a private company, that also the public company, and does not restrict to right of the transfer its shares. Okay. In the private company, they have some condition to restrict and to transfer the shares, but in the public company, don't have any restrict. In this way, they have to transfer their shares to others, and does not prohibit any invitation to subscribe for any shares or debentures of the company. So here no prohibit for invite the shares or debentures from the people. So they can they can sell the shares or debentures to the people, and does not profit any invitation or accept of deposit. Even they can collect a deposit like a bank will collect a deposit from the people, no? So like a company also collect a deposit from the people, further they are giving the interest. The name of public company should be suffixed with the limited. Example, National Aluminium Company Limited, Chennai. Okay. So in the public company, so minimum 7 member it is should be need, and minimum paid up capital 5 lakhs, and subsidiary company also private, not a private company, and don't have any restriction to transfer the shares, and no restriction for getting the shares or debentures from the people, and so no restriction, to sell shares or debentures. And next point, so they can get a deposit also from the people. And classification of company on the basis of control. On the basis of control, it will be better government companies first. A public enterprises incorporated under the Indian Company Act 1956 is called a government company. Okay. So these companies are owned and managed by central or the state government. Okay, central government or state government owned and manage any company. It's called a government company. According to the section 617, a Company Act 1956 defines the government company as any company which not less than 51% of the paid up share capital. Okay, so for example, 100% of the shares. Okay, so 51% of the share should be held in government. So then only we can call that is a government company. Okay, 51 percentage. Okay, so that company called a government company. And the central government or to any state government or partly central government or partly one or more state government, they can manage or control the particular organization called a government company. And subsidiary of government company shall also be treated as a government company. Subsidiary means the branch company also treated as a government companies. These company are registered as private limited company through their management and their controlled with the government. Okay, and this type of organization where both the government and the private individuals are shareholders. Sometimes these company are called mixed ownership of company. And example, Steel Authority of India, Indian Oil Corporation, Oil and National Gas Corporation, Bharat Heavy Electricals. And holding companies. As per section 287, subsidiary company or subsidiary in relation to any other company, that is to say the holding company means company in which the holding company. Okay, so for example, one company hold another company shares within my hand, it's called the holding company. Okay, so control the composition of the board of director or exercise or control more than one of the total share capital, either at it is a own or together with one or more of it is. So that is a holding company. And subsidiary companies, provided such class or classes of holding company as may be prescribed, shall not have lawyer of subsidiaries beyond such numbers as may be prescribed. Okay, control the composition of the board of directors, or exercise or control more than one of the total share capital, either it own or together with one or more subsidiary company. Okay, so in this example you can understand what is the holding and what is the subsidiary company. So Hutch Limited, like that one company it is there, that company hold more than 50% of the equity share capital of S Limited. Okay, so now Hutch Limited is a holding company and S Limited is a subsidiary company because Hutch have hold a S Limited company. So Hutch is a holding company and S is a subsidiary companies. And a classification of company on the basis of nationality. Domestic company, a company which cannot be termed as foreign company under the provision of the Company Act should be recorded as a domestic company. So in Indian company, they have worked only one India who called a domestic company. A company which cannot be termed as a foreign company under the provision of Company Act should be recorded as a domestic company. Foreign companies. A foreign company means a company which is incorporated in a country outside India under the law of that country. Okay, so maybe they started their business in other country, in that country outside of India. Okay, outside of India, they started their business under the that country law. Okay, and after that establishment of business in India. So after that, they are established business in India. The following document must be filled with the register of company within the 30 days from the date of establishment. So maybe they establish their business in India after the establishment date. Okay, so within the 30 days they have to submit the some documents, and a certificate of copy of charter or statutory and which the company in incorporate, or the memorandum and articles of the company translated into English. Okay, so that company they have to submit some certificate, that is a charter or statute, and the memorandum and articles of company that should be submitted to register, and that should be in English, and the full address of the register office of the company. Okay, so maybe they started the company in the outside of the country, that full address should be noted and tell, and the list of directors and secretary of the company. So who are the directors and secretary of the company, that also inform to the register. So the name and address of the person resident of India who is authorized to accept and behalf of the company. Okay, so they establish the business in India. So here, who is the responsible? Who is the authority of that particular company? Whose name and address also you should be mentioned. So service of legal process and any notice served on the company. So these are the documents they have to submit after the establish the company in India. So within the 30 days they have to submit to the register. So that is a foreign company. And multinational companies. A multinational company is a huge industrial organization which operate in more than one country. Okay, so one country it work in more than one country, it's called a multinational company, carries out production, marketing, and research activities on international scale in those countries. Okay, so some production, marketing, and research activity on international scale in those countries, seeks to maximize profit world over. A domestic company or foreign company can be MNC. So example, Microsoft Corporation, Nokia Corporation, Nestle, Coca-Cola, International Business Machine, PepsiCo, and Sony Corporation. These are the multinational companies. Okay, so this is the types of the companies, and after that we are going to discuss about the memorandum of association. So suppose any company started under the Indian Act, they have to follow three. They have to maintain three certificates. The one is a memorandum of association, articles of association, and prospectus. So these three things we are going to discuss. The first one, memorandum of association. Okay, so what is a memorandum of association? It is a legal document prepared in the formation and registration process of limited liability company to define its relationship with the shareholders. Okay, so this is a legal document and prepared a formation and registration process of limited liability company. So it is a relationship with the shareholders. Okay, and it reveals what powers it has and what activities the company is permitted to undertake. So any act of the company outside the scope outlined, it is a memorandum, is said to be ultra virus and it's not binding on it. And it is a constitution of the company. So constitution means சட்டதிட்டங்கள். Okay, this is a constitution of the company. It is a relation to the outside of the world. Okay, it is a public document and any person dealing with the company is presumed to have sufficient knowledge of it. Okay, so any outside of the person want to deal with the particular company, so the memorandum of association giving such a details have sufficient knowledge of the particular company. So it is a primary document of the company. Okay, and what are the content it is available? The first one, name class, situation class, objective class, and liability class, and capital class. So we'll discuss one by one. The first class is a name class. The name class required to state the legal and recognized name of the company. Okay, already in the partnership we discussed them. Partnership have some contents. So first, name of the business firm. Okay, so the same way memorandum of association, when they have to register, they have to follow one document, that is a memorandum of association. So here some content are there. The first content, name class. So then the name class required to state the legal and recognized name of the company. So what is the name of the company? They have to mention in the name class. The company name is also to be registered if it does not bear any similarity with the name of existing companies only. Okay, so it's not similarity with the other company. For example, Nokia, already it is the same name, they should not start with another company. Okay, so it's not any similarity with the name of the existing company. That is a name class. So name class means name of the company. And situation class, the register office class is required to show the physical location of the register office of the company. Okay, so location of the physical location of the company address, that is a situation class, where it was located, and it is required to keep all the company register in the office. So that place only they have to maintain all the company registers. Okay, and the register office should be established prior to commencing business activity, and that office only they have to do all the business activities. That is a situation class. Okay, so name class means name of the company, and situation class means physical location of the company. And next, objective class, the objective class required to summarize the main objectives of for establishing the company with the reference to the recruitment for shareholding and use of financial resources. Okay, the objective class required to summarize the main objective for establishing the company, what purpose they are established this company. So that should be mentioned in the objective class. Okay, and with the reference to recruitment of the shareholding and use of financial resources. Okay, so for that, how much financial resources they need, that also should be they mention in the objective class. It is required to state the ancillary objectives, that is, those objectives that are required to facilitate the achievement of main objectives. The objectives should be free of any provision or declaration that constitute to law or public good. That is a objective class. And liability class. So liability we discussed many times. Unlimited liability means even business own assets also used to repay the loan. Okay, so here in the company actually there is a limited liability only, because their asset, their personal assets not take for the business loan. Okay, so the liability class required to state extent to which shareholder of the company are liable to debt obligation of the company in the event of company dissolving. Okay, so some of the company they have to mention particular shareholder asset, particular shareholder property only liable to debt for the loan. Okay, so that name should be mentioned in the liability class. Okay, and there are companies limited by shares and limited by guarantee. Some companies have limited by shares and limited by guarantee. And capital class. So the capital class require to state of the company authorized share capital, the different categories of shares and nominal value, the minimum value per share of the shares. Okay, yesterday I gave an example to so minimum that per share value is 10 rupees. Okay, so how much capital they needed, they required to start the business, how much capital they required, that also should be mentioned in the capital class. And what is the minimum value of the per share, that also should be mentioned in the capital class. It also required to list of the company asset under the class. Okay, so these are the 5 content should be follow in the memorandum of the association. Okay, and next we are going to discuss about a association class. The association class confirms that shareholder bound by the MOA are willingly associating and forming a company. It is required 7 members to sign in the MOA or public company, and not less than 2 people of MOA in the private company. So already we studied about private company and public company. So if you want to start a private company, we need a 2 shareholders and 2 directors. In the public company means we need a 7 members. Okay, so in the article association class, in the association class, so they who have to sign in the public company means 7 members have to sign. In the private company means 2 people have to sign. The sign must be done in the presence of witness. So what is the meaning of witness? Sachigal. In front of the witness they should be signed, and who must also append his signature, and witness also should be signed in the particular document. That is a association class. Okay, so private company means 2 person, public company means 7 person, and they should be signed in front of the witness, and witness also should be signed. And articles of association. Articles of association, the is the document that contain the purpose of the company as well as the duties and responsibility of the members. Okay, so memorandum of association used to contact with the other persons, so other person should know all the details, so they prepared the MOA. Okay, in the articles of association it was mentioned about the rules and regulation of the companies. Okay, so document that contain the purpose of the company as well as duties and responsibility of its members. So it is an important document which need to be filled with the register of the company, so that rules and responsibility also should be registered with the company. And these are the by law of the company that define the mode or the manner which the company business to be carried. In other company act, a table A prescribed model for the article of the company. Table A is a document. Table A is a document. And what are the content it is there? Amount of shares, capital value, and types of the shares. Okay. So that particular amount of the shares and their capital value and type of the shares should be mentioned in the articles of the association. And right of each class of the shareholder recording vote, dividend, return on the capital. Okay. So already we studied about in the characteristics in the joint stock company have a one share, one vote. So about that we have to mention in the articles of association. So dividend. So because they invest their money to the business. Okay. So who called a shareholder? The shareholder means they invest the money into the business. So they invest the money, they should be get some benefit. The benefit called a dividend. The dividend particulars also mentioned in the articles of association. And return of capitals. So they introduce their capital in the business when they have to return of the capital. So that details also mentioned in the association of articles. Okay. And the third point, rules recording issue of shares and debentures. How they are going to sell their shares and debentures from the to the people. That rules also mentioned in the articles of association. Procedure as well as a regulation in respect of making calls on shares. Okay. So first they are going to sell their shares and debentures, and how they are conducting, how they are getting from the people, making a calls on the shares. That procedure also should be mentioned. And manner of transfer of shares. Okay, how they can transfer the shares to other person. So that is the way they have to mention. And declaration of dividends, when they declare their dividends. And borrowing power of the company, how much amount they can borrow from others. So that should be mentioned in the association of articles. Rules recording the appointment, remuneration, removal of the directors. Okay, how they are appoint the new employee, and how they are going to give the salary or remuneration to them. And removal of directors, suppose they are going to remove the director, means that also should be mentioned in the association of article. And procedure for conducting fraxy quorum meeting. So fraxy quorum, that also meeting only, how they are going to conduct that meeting, that should be mentioned. That procedure should be mentioned in the association of articles. Procedure concerning keeping of books and audit. Okay. So how they are going to maintain the accounts, that also should be mentioned in the association of articles. And seal of the company. Okay. So in the characteristics already we studied, it has a common seal. Company means it has a common seal. And what the details of the seal, it should be mentioned in the association of articles. And the procedures recording the winding of the company. Suppose that company going to dissolve or wind up, what procedure they have to follow, that also should be mentioned in the association of articles. Okay, so these are the details should be mentioned in the association of articles. So first we studied association of memorandum of association. In memorandum of association, for the outsiders, they should know about the company. And association of article for the purpose of the members or shareholders, rules and regulation. Okay. And next we are going to study about prospectus. So what is the meaning of prospectus? So when you are getting the application from the school, so we are giving the prospectus. In the prospectus, so about the school, they mentioned what are the courses available, and bus facilities, uniform details, how much students are studying, and about the management, everything it was mentioned in the prospectus. So like that, about a company details, it was printed in the prospectus. According to section 236 of the Company Act, any document inviting the public to buy its shares or debentures come under the definition of prospectus. Okay, so it's a particular company going to collect amount from the people in the format of shares or debentures. under the action section 236, they have to give the prospectus. Through that only they have to invite the people to buy their shares or debentures. So it also applied to advertisement in inviting deposit from the public. It's like an advertisement. So through that advertisement, they are selling their shares or debentures to the people. Okay. So what is a share? What is a debentures? You should know. So shares means they are the shareholders. They invest their money. They are the part of the management. They are the shareholder of they are the owner of the particular company. Okay. So debentures means the company going to borrow a loan from the others. That is a debentures. So who are give the loan to the company who called a debentures holder. Okay. So that is a shares or debentures. The company going to sell shares or debenture, they should give the advertisement in the format of the prospectus. So the prospectus contain the main objectives of the company, the name and address of the signatory of the Memorandum of Association, and number of shares held by them. Okay. So in the prospectus, they have to mention their name, address of the signatory of the Memorandum of Association. So who and all sign in the Memorandum of Association, their address should be mentioned and share held by them. The name and addresses, occupation of the director and managing directors. In the prospectus, they have to mention board directors details and the number and classes of shares and debentures issued, and the qualification share of directors and the interest of directors for the promotion of the company. That also should be mentioned. Qualification of the directors and the interest of the director of the promotion of the company, that should be mentioned. And the number, description and the document of shares or debentures which within the 2 preceding years have been agreed to be issued other than cash, and the name and address of the vendors of the property accrued by the company and the amount paid or to be paid, that also should be mentioned. How much amount they get it from others, how much amount they are going to pay for the particular vendors. So everything should be mentioned. And particulars about the directors, secretaries and treasuries and their remuneration. Okay. So who and all participate in the business, directors, secretaries and treasuries, and their remuneration should be mentioned in the prospectus. The amount for the minimum subscription, the minimum subscription value also should be mentioned in the prospectus. If the company carrying on business, the length of time of the such business. Okay. So these are the details should be mentioned in the prospectus. So one company is going to start means they have to follow 3 documents. The first one is a Memorandum of Association. In Memorandum of Association, it have 5 content. What are the contents? Name content, name class, name class, situation class, objective class, liability class, and capital class. So this should be maintained, these 5 classes, and association of articles for the purpose of rules and regulation for the members. Okay. And prospectus, when they are inviting the shares and debentures from the people, they have to made a advertisement. It like a advertisement, they have to prospectus. So these are the 3 documents should be maintained by the companies. Okay. So this is the joint stock companies. Kindly share 2 or 3 times. If you have doubt, we can clarify in the online classes. Thank you, students. We'll meet on next video. Thank you.